All right, yeah, I hosted the first one. You want to just jump in? Let me refresh it real quick. All right, try it again. Perfect. Yeah, I'm just gonna like message someone in our chat. Like, someone like I'm gonna get someone to watch the stream real quick to see if the voice is okay. I hope it's okay. Is there anyone commenting? Like just to make sure the audio is okay. Actually, no. Bugs says he's gonna do it. What a hero. It's gonna be so bad if we do the entire stream, and then at the very end, someone's like, "Hey, I can't hear one of you guys." Oh yeah, for sure. $15 different what, like segments? Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't know what happened, man. Okay. Testing.
But let me see.
Okay.
They should be capturing me too, right?
Well, I'm not sure which one of us he hears, right? Like he could be hearing. Who can you hear? Who can you hear? So I'll just say testing, right? So if you can hear me, Bugs, this is Shroom. If you can hear me, testing. Say something. Can't hear me, say something as well. Okay, beauty, perfect. What a hero! Shout out to Bugs. Yeah, appreciate it. All right, I guess we're ready to start then. If everything's okay, voice is not too loud. One of us, everything's all. We'll definitely mention Bugs when we start. Yeah, definitely for sure. Okay, we good? We good or what? All right. All right. You can hear me, right? Everything. We're ready because I'm gonna start. If we're ready. Can you hear me? Okay, sure.
Oh, I gotta change to F5.
Okay, I'll just pause it then.
Oh, what is this replay?
This is Narso versus Neb.
No, you gotta remake. I got a random rap.
Oh, okay. Sorry, everyone. I guess as usual, there's some technical difficulties. Seems like every stream, doesn't matter whose stream, technical difficulty. Yeah, but yeah, welcome to the CPL. This will be week 3. This will be Team Indecision, Operation Indecision versus Team Sangyang Fire.
Oh, is it really? I thought it was against socialized healthcare.
Oh, is it Socialized Healthcare?
Yeah, if it's
And you
week
tell
3.
me. Okay, my bad. Socialized Healthcare then. So, the European team. Yeah, and we have RoyalBlue, and I'm ShroomofDoom, and we're doing the cast. And a great, I guess, like a shout out to Bugs Bunny for helping us, get all the audio right. So, I really appreciate that. All right, okay, fingers crossed. Fingers
Yeah.
crossed. Let's hope. Let's hope it's all good. All right, so Royal, you want to introduce our players?
Sure, so in the bottom left here on match point, we have Nablime spawning as the Brown Terran.
On top right, we have Narcel Rev. It's the red Protoss. Nablime playing for Team Operation Indecision. Narcel obviously playing for Team Socialized Healthcare, and we have a little bit of chat. Apparently, they have some difficulties as well when playing. Yeah, so Royal, this map, match point. What do you think? TVP? Any thoughts?
So I think this map is kind of Terran favored. I think it would favor, especially in the blind style, which from what I've seen is very like turtle heavy and just like slowly taking half the map. I've seen some good things with it, with like carriers and arbiters being effective because of the kind of long area of the map you have to defend as Terran. Like you have to defend such a, I don't know, like you expand in a straight line, so then you have such a wide base that you can kind of, there's many points the Protoss can attack if they're doing like air units to attack with.
100% agree. Yeah, it's basically, it's almost undefendable. Like the arbiter, if the arbiter is coming in, it's going to come in. You definitely need mines. Surface area is just too great. But that being said, I also feel like I do agree with you. It is definitely, I think, a Terran favored map. But what do you think about early game aggression? Because you don't really have a high ground main, so to speak, and the natural is pretty wide open if you think about it.
Mm-hmm. I know
If you
there are
think,
long rush distances on this map, but that doesn't mean you can't see some early aggression.
yeah, definitely maybe 10, 15 gate, or maybe something like that. I don't. I obviously we're not going to see anything like a proxy reaver or anything, right? And as you can see over at Narcel's base, he is opting to play a more standard build. It seems, and second pylon should come down right on time, 15 supply. What do you think about the Blime's build so far? Taking a look at it.
Yeah, it looks very standard from the Blime 2, taking at least one guy off gas now to build his factory. He's got 2 guys on there. That doesn't necessarily mean he's not going to take an expansion here.
Yeah, and it looks like it was just a little bit of a mistake. So he has taken off the second SCV. So one SCV on gas. That's almost a dead giveaway. He's thinking of maybe a longer game, macro game. He's going to, or at least he's going to take his natural. It's not going to be some kind of one base play.
Yeah, we see the Blime was able to scout that the Protoss has started his range upgrade. So it looks pretty standard from the Protoss, at least from what Nablime was able to see. And so he goes out and he's building a bunker now to defend his natural expansion.
Yeah, yeah. So both super standard play coming out from both players. I think a 21 next coming out of Narcel. And there we go. Natural down. I like how Narcel's actually probing around with his Dragoon, because a lot of times Terran will probably hide their SCV down there and just to, re-scout the Protoss base again, later see if there's any kind of hidden tech or something.
Yeah, if you can actually deny him from seeing your Nexus, That could be big because, yeah, seeing the range is one tell, but the Nexus is a completely different thing to kind of read and see. So Nablam's going to want to get in here with that SCV and get another scout off to see this Nexus, just to make sure he's not going to guess anything too crazy here from Protoss.
Yeah, and we see he does get it. He actually, there's no secondary Dragoon coming out in time, so he sees everything. He sees the 3 gates. He sees everything in the main.
Yeah, so what do you think about this 3 gateways so quickly from Protoss? Does that mean any sign of Protoss aggression here?
It's got to be aggression. I don't really see, like, yeah, it's got to be aggression. I'm pretty sure. Well, I mean, or okay, I think maybe Narso wanted to go aggression, but you see, he's actually not queuing up more Dragoons because I think maybe he saw Nablam see it, and you can see he was actually making a probe going down to the 3rd. And look at his minerals, right? So I think he was going to take like a quick 3rd.
Yeah.
A little bit of like a mind game, right? Like, oh, you think I'm going to go aggression because you scouted my gates, but then I'm just going to take a 3rd, right? And he hopes that Nablam will just over commit to defense.
Yeah, we saw Nablam did go Vulture first, and he was able to take out that probe going for the 3rd expansion. So Narsil did end up producing a round of Dragoons now, and he's trying to take his 3rd expansion just now, which he's able to do it before his probe gets picked off by that Vulture. So Nablam's done a good job. He knows exactly what's going on, that the 3 gateways were out, and now that the 3rd, he knows the timing of the 3rd expansion.
Yeah, Nablam definitely in a great position here. I actually thought it was kind of a little bit risky to go, Vulture first, especially on this kind of map, but worked out for him. So definitely making the right call. So okay, so if we go over to the Protoss space, you do see the robotics coming down in a 3 gate, and then having like 2 expansions behind it with the robo is super standard as well. So it's not anything out of the ordinary.
Yeah, it's just the timing of the gateways that he built 3 gateways and then the robo is what was a little different here. But it looks like he is just going to set himself up to go for an observatory and just play the kind of standard 3 gateway obs mid game that Protoss likes to get into.
Right. Yeah. And yeah, I think again, like it was due to the fact that maybe Nablam scouted him, so he kind of like aborted his earlier plans. Maybe he had of some kind of like 3 gate bulldog or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we do see a scan did go down, and I don't think Nablam saw anything though. He scanned basically right in the middle of Narso's base. There's nothing to scan, so he only saw a pylon. Yeah.
Yeah, we see Nablam's now starting his +1 weapons for his mech and his 3rd command center as well. So looks like Nablam's going for more of a macro game. Only has 2 factories right now, so he's definitely playing kind of passive.
Yeah, I'd actually say Nablam, he was really greedy because he grabbed his like 2nd command center when his like 2nd factory wasn't done. So he essentially took 2 expansions off 1 factory. It's a greedy play, but it's the right call because he got that scouting information. Like he saw the 3rd go down so quick, right? And and so he knew there's probably no way the Protoss could punish him.
Yeah, and we saw there just 1 Dragoon from the Protoss kind of taking some shots at the Terran expansion, but then easily destroyed by the siege tanks. So Nablam's looking pretty well defended right now on his 3 bases.
And yeah, in this situation, I think that the Terran is ahead, just due to how quickly they've gotten 3 bases, and he's basically not being pressured at all. He's basically getting away with a huge amount of eco, over a short amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, we see now the Protoss looking to take his 4th base in the bottom right.
Yeah, it's clearing out that mine. Again, super standard, I think, play from both players. I do feel, I kind of do feel that. I think Nablam is ahead. If you want to take a look at the supplies right now, and it's basically Nablam's actually up in supply, and whenever Terran is up on supply, it gains a Protoss, right? The Terran is in good shape.
Well, I wonder what tech the Protoss is going for. Right now he has, looks like 7 gateways, and he's got the Zealot speed. So we'll see if he decides to go for Arbiters here or Carriers. He's going to have to decide pretty soon here. The Terran just getting his upgrades, getting that second armory in the science facility now. So nothing too out of the ordinary for Terran, but the Protoss has to make a decision, and it looks like he's going for Arbiter tech right now.
Yeah, whenever there's a Templar Archives that comes down, it signals Arbiter Tech, right? If he's going for carriers, he would have also gotten like the attack, so Cyber Core would be spinning by now. Yeah, just super standard out of out of both players. One thing I would like to note though is that Narso's really light on probes. He's 45 probes only, and it's
Yeah.
really hurting his economy. Like you can money.
Yeah, and the Blind able to sneak some speed vultures into that third base and pick off some of those probes, which, as you mentioned, Narsil already does not have too many of them. So every probe kill here is very important, and he actually is getting into the natural as well.
Yeah, that was a great run by Nablime. 41 probes. You definitely need more. You need at least 60. And that's like minimum 60. I mean, better to have maybe 65 to 70 probes. Okay, so we see the Arbiter Tribunal has come down. It's up to Nablime now to basically figure out what kind of tech Narsil has. I'm not sure if he rescanned. And yeah, back on Nablime's side, he's just powering up on factories now. So he's up to 7 factories. Narsil has 7 gates. Okay, good. Yeah, Nablime just scanned Narsil's main, and he does see the Arbiter tech. And it'll actually be double Stargate Arbiter. Do you think this double Stargate Arbiter is sustainable off only like 3 gas? Well, he doesn't even have his 3rd gas, so he only has 2 gases on Narsil's side.
Yeah, and it looks like he's gonna have to kill one of his gateways now to get some Dragoons out that were trapped. I'm not sure if this 2-gate Arbiter is sustainable off 2 Stargate Arbiter, but here he is taking his, this looks like the 5th expansion here in the, I guess 6 o'clock position. So he is going to try to secure one more gas for himself, most likely to power those Arbiters.
Yeah, I'm a little worried actually for Narsil though, but because he does have a 3rd gas, but he hasn't capped it. And no, we see at the 5 o'clock even more probe damage come down, right? And I like this low probe count. I mean, I can't stress it enough. And also like I can combined with Nablime's economic damage. I mean, it's really hurting him. Again, look at the supplies. Nablime's actually up on supply.
Is my
Against
replay broken? Can you see in the Blime's natural? How many SCVs are there?
There's like a ton of SCVs. I see them.
Just idle?
Like a ton. Just all idle in there, yeah.
Oh, okay. That did not look normal to me. And here we see Narsil trying to take the 12 o'clock expansion here with some Zealots to try to clear the mines and then a probe as well. So Narsil really going crazy with the expansions. But as we can see, Nablime actually has 80 SCVs. So he's built a ton of SCVs just for these 3 bases, which is very different from Narsil's probe count of only 53.
Right, and he's built another one. Let's actually hope he's gonna stop building SCVs, because at 80 SCVs that's too much. It's gonna bite into your army supply. Sorry, right? So
yeah, I'm starting to think this replay is bugged. I don't understand why he isn't moving those SCVs from its natural and using them for something. But
I don't think it's bugged. I think no, I don't think it's bugged, because you can see him like moving around the vultures quite quite vigorously, and you can see they're still macroing out of the units, right? When it's bugged, it it doesn't.
yeah, and the Blime's done a good job of moving around with his vultures, laying mines. He has a bunch of mines in his main and some missile turrets up now to protect against recall. And Narsil's just saturating his bases, transferring more probes down to the 6 o'clock base.
Yeah, Narsil finally, getting a respectable probe count and finally saturating his bases. But I mean, is it a little too little, too late? Because Nablam's ready to push now, and he still has a supply lead, right?
Yeah. Nabaim able to take this pretty nice position on top of his own high ground, which will allow him to take that fourth base up in the top left. But honestly, it's kind of on the blind now to make a push because the Protoss has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bases potentially that he could be mining from right now. So the Terran needs to at least knock out one of those bases to try to make the game more even for himself. But right now I am liking what Nablim's doing, taking this high ground, and now he's got to decide which of these bases he wants to push for.
Right. Yeah. Nablam's gonna make something happen now. Again, his only saving grace is because Narsil's economy was so stunted for so long. He has no bank. So if Nablam can roll this first army of Narsil, Narsil's basically he's gonna be struggling to remax. You know what I'm saying? Because he has no bank behind this. Um, the thing about pushing the bases, I mean, I totally agree. But on this map, I think it's almost better just to push the main because there's no place really for the Protoss to fit a ton of gates. So once you choke off the main, it's over, right? There's no way for Narsil to really come back. I guess there's recall, but it's not as good as being able to move your army out in the field, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the replay is not bugged. If you take a quick look at the natural, he finally has his piece mining.
Okay. That's a relief, because that was a lot of idle SCVs there for a second. You never like to see that much idle SCVs. But we see Narsil now with a second Arbiter out. He's got a bunch of energy on that first Arbiter. He's not building any more though. Both these players are maxed. Nabline really taking his time, setting up a bunch of missile turrets everywhere, laying mines. Content just to kind of slowly push on this high ground. Oh, and there's the move out. So maybe he is trying to move over to this 12 o'clock base, or even push the natural from the high ground. Now, Narsil's army is kind of split up. He does have some units over here to try to block this push, but that's really not enough. As Nablim scans it, it's just going to slow him down a little bit. But there's no way he can hope to engage this max Terran army with just these few units, so he's going to have to bring his other army around.
Yeah, I kind of feel like, and Nablim also has a high ground position here, you know? He actually has both high grounds, and he's mined out everything. I kind of feel like at this point, as Protoss, you really have to abuse the fact that, you can get the recalls in. If you look at Nablim's main, yeah, he's got turrets, but the mine coverage is nowhere close to enough, to stop, let's say, 2 recalls, right? And if he can actually fly over the natural and recall as well and walk his way up to Nablim's natural.
Yeah, as you were saying, this map really is favored for Terran, as we're seeing in the positioning here for the Terran. He's able to stay on this high ground and just slowly push down. But here's a recall going into the main, as you were asking for. But it looks like it's going to get shot down by these turrets, or happen to just recall on the mines. Oh, and it gets shot down by the turrets.
It gets shot down, yeah.
Recall. And now the Terran's getting very close to getting those 3-2 upgrades, which are just going to allow him to trade so effectively. Here's another Arbiter, full energy. Right outside the Terran natural. Let's see where this Arbiter decides to go. Maybe he's going for that area using the ledge. Yeah, it looks like he will get right on top of these factories, and there isn't really a lot of mines over here. This is going to be a very big recall. He can't really recall that many units.
Yeah, I think this looked really scary because yeah, he didn't manage to get that many units, so this will basically be cleaned up.
Yeah, and Nablim's able to move his tanks in position to start sieging this 12 o'clock base. He's taking out some goons here. He's moving back to clear out this recall. There's really not that many units in here for Protoss. This is going to be annoying for Terran to clean up, but it's just not too much.
And look in the blinds. He's building a wall of supply depots. This is so smart. And
yeah, the Zealot's able to get on these tanks, but yeah, there's nothing wrong with building a bunch of supply depots out in the middle of the map to kind of mess with that AI of the Protoss units. And Nablim does clean up that recall in his main, taking kind of minimal damage here from that recall. And now suddenly Protoss doesn't really look to have that many units out on the map.
Yeah, and you have to remember, the Protoss sacrificed both arbiters to get that that one recall, right? Because the first one failed, and that could have been stasis in the big fight, right? And that really hurts the Protoss. And yeah, Nablam is basically retaking this position and will continue to siege the 12 o'clock. I think we're kind of seeing some of Nablam's signature play here, you know? As you were saying earlier, the turtle style, right? Just walling up everything and slowly taking his half of the map.
Yeah, he
Getting
was forced to kind of retreat back to his main, so his push did kind of slow down or stall out here. But he placed a bunch of mines back in his main, he's rebuilt all of his turrets, and he's totally fine just to take this game slow. Here's a push onto the high ground from the Protoss. There's really not that many units, just, 8 Dragoons, a Zealot, and there's no way he's really going to be able to take this position right here from the Terran, as a bunch of vultures come swarming in and start laying mines, and he's forced to retreat back.
right. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I mean, either you get the world's best recalls or the world's best fighter. I mean, I just don't see how the Protoss can really break this with the ground army. But hold that thought. Just as I say that, look at the Narso's base in the north. He has done a carrier tech switch.
Yeah, he's losing that 12 o'clock base, or at least all the probes at that base have died to vultures now, and there's still some tanks outside, but he is going to carriers up off 3 Stargates. So if he gets those out, maybe he can make a comeback in this game. But right now, Nablam is kind of choking out the map and just not allowing Narsil to mine from that 12 o'clock base. And it looks like he's now pushing for this 6 o'clock base as well.
Hey, he's actually got a tank shell in the pylon, or was shelling the pylon from the from his own base, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
Wow, and look at all these turrets going down from the blind, so he definitely knows these carriers are incoming.
Yeah, he scanned it. I saw he did actually scan it. So in the blind, he's going to be perfectly prepared for this. And
here's a big attack from Protoss going onto the high ground. There's just so many mines here, though. I don't really see this attack succeeding. Tank's perfectly positioned.
Perfect EMP as well. You saw that, like taking out the arbiter energy.
Well, the Zealot's actually able to get up onto this ledge, but all of them taken out by that one mine right there, and he's gonna have to retreat with these Dragoons. He's trying to bust into this other location, but there's so many turrets and tanks here.
And there's also like a huge, the supply depot wall, right? Which Nablam is again rebuilding.
Yeah, and he's now lost his 6 o'clock base. There's no mining going down there too.
Right. This, I mean, I hate to call it because, you know, caster's curse, but I think we're seeing the beginning of the end. Just look at their banks right now. Can Narsil even afford to make interceptors? Look at their banks.
Yeah, and he's gonna lose some of these carriers to turrets, it looks like.
Oh no, yeah,
one carrier.
He loses one. He can't be losing like carriers like that, especially in the low eco situation.
Yeah, he's really got to deny this base from going down for Nablam. If Nablam's able to set up this base, it's pretty much over for him. Here he is trying to counterattack down at the 6 o'clock while Nablam's army is up at 12. And he's able to clear up some of these vultures, so maybe he'll be able to resume mining there. But right now his carriers are getting pushed back by the Goliath of Nablam.
Right. Yeah, you can see the interceptors being gunned down. And no. He's not noticing. Okay, all his carriers are sniped.
And that was his main hope for getting back in this game.
Right. I think he's probably going to gear up for another attack in the center. You see, well, maybe or maybe not. I see his army like funneling in the center, but at this point, I mean, I just don't know. You know what the Protoss can do. You know, I kind of feel like. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, they are on even bases, but the Protoss is looking increasingly desperate here. He's trying to make an attack over at the natural for Nablam, but there's plenty of SimCity with this Rax turret and Depot taking a lot of the hits, and so Nablam's going to have time to prepare his defenses. And I'm not really sure what the goal is of this attack, because maybe if you get on top of the factories you could trade well, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to push through here, and so He's kind of losing all of his army and not really accomplishing anything. I definitely see why attacking into the supply depot wall would not be what you have in mind though as Protoss. So he's kind of got limited options of places he can attack.
Look at the 6 o'clock. Look at the 6 o'clock right now. Vulture counter. Gonna snipe all these probes.
Yeah, by throwing away his army into the Terra Natural, he kind of left his base exposed, and now just a few vultures are able to come in here and clean up all of his probes, lay some mines. They may even be able to take out that Nexus here if the Protoss doesn't respond. And we see Protoss is now... He didn't really have too many probes, but he's only mining on a few bases now. He really needed that 6 o'clock base.
Yeah, we can see some like the 2 carriers trying to harass up at at the 12 o'clock. But if you're going carriers, you need minimum 4, at least 4, right? And in a place where it's so entrenched, like the Blim's got turrets everywhere and Goliath's right there. I feel like you need even more than 4, right? But hold that thought. We see the Protoss army, coming up on that high ground, right? Maybe left a little exposed, so he may be able to take that high ground, but. No, actually, I take that back. We can see in the Blim's units, he's cycling his Goliaths back. He's flooding units up. I just can't see what the Protoss can do. I hate to say it, but this map is just so Terran favored. And you can build almost everywhere, and there's small chokes everywhere.
Yeah,
Yo,
Nar's still able to get an attack going to third base of the Blind.
Look at the supply.
Yeah.
Look at the supply wall, the supply depot wall. He tried to make a Zealot attack there, and it basically evaporated. I think we're seeing the last desperation attacks come out of Narsil.
Yeah, Narsil just running low on money now. The Blind able to mine from the 12 o'clock, and Narsil not mining from that 6 o'clock, so the Terran's actually ahead on resources right now.
Right. Well, he's gonna get the 3rd CC for his efforts, but I mean, at what cost?
Yeah.
At what cost?
And that
I mean,
CC wasn't doing anything anyway.
Right. Like, how many Protoss units? Like sacrificing. Like, where do Protoss go when they die? Like their spirits. Like, well, wherever they went. Like, how many of them went to wherever they go to? Get one just to get one command center, right?
Yeah.
And look, Delots, like his last army. He tried to clear the mines out of the 6 o'clock, right? But expended so many.
So now he's trying to go with some High Templar. He's going to get some storms on some SCVs that were kind of not doing anything anyway, but he actually kills his own Templar with them. Does damage some SCVs though, and now he's going to try to land at the back of his 12 o'clock and maybe get another storm off. But I really feel like the time to harass the mineral line is over, and you got to actually deal with this Terran army that's pretty much maxed.
He doesn't even get the storm off. You saw like the Goliaths picked it off.
Yeah, so now we see one Arbiter and like 5 Protoss units trying to at least pressure the Terran, but there's just not enough Protoss out there right now.
There will never be enough Protoss out there. Basically, even if Narsil does get the 6 o'clock mining, I mean, I think it's over. Like, Nablime has such a huge bank, And yeah, we see Narsil actually committing to carriers again at the 12 o'clock. But I mean, I like Narsil's tech switch to carriers. I think that was really smart. But he keeps sending them in 2 at a time. You see, so he's got 2 more. Now he's lost all his interceptors. I mean, I feel like if he had just saved them up, you'd have like a fleet of 6 or 8 right now, and then he could do maybe some serious damage with them. But sending them in piecemeal, like, yeah, I just don't think
carriers be very effective on this map, but you're correct. You need more than just 2, because otherwise there's just too few interceptors, and they get focused down and they all die. Especially with the amount of turrets he's trying to attack into. And here we see kind of a last fight in the middle, some storms going down, but the Protoss army getting destroyed, and the Blind able to take it. And GG is called.
Yeah, the game is called. Yeah. I think I mean, this was definitely a good game. I just feel that in the Blind, he played like really, really well. He just played to his strengths. He basically did his classical turtle style, right? He never really push to the Protoss. He just took his side of the map, and that was game. Yeah, and I mean, we've already said that. But I did like the carrier tech switch again, but I mean, just didn't work out, in the end. So, all right, we're to game 2 of the tier 0 matches between Team Operation Indecision versus Team Socialized Healthcare. And yeah, you want to go ahead and introduce our players?
Sure, so we've got Narsil in the REV clan spawning in the top right as the red Protoss, and we have Nabline representing Operation Indecision in the, I guess this would be like the 9 o'clock base as the blue Terran.
The map is Tile Cross, really, really old map. It's I like it. It's a pretty good map, I think.
Yeah, it is a
Any
good
thoughts?
map. I don't think we're going to see carriers on this map. It's probably not as effective. But yeah, we'll see. I think there is some kind of nice areas to slowly push as Terran on this map, but the mains are pretty exposed to recall.
Yeah, agree with your analysis 100%. This map is pretty flat and pretty open, which makes it bad for carrier, right? But on the other hand, I honestly feel that this map is actually a little bit Protoss favored, and you basically pointed out the reason why. Basically, again, this map is, for the Terran, is undefendable against recalls, with turrets. I mean, if Protoss wants an Arbiter in there, it's going to get in there. The only thing you can do is plant some mines and hope that the Protoss doesn't have an observer or something, right? And calls on the mine. Also, the huge open spaces of this map, it's really good for flanking maneuvers, which again favors the Protoss. There are some like bridges you see, but the bridges. I mean, if you fight at the bridges, yeah, that's good for the Terran. But there's a lot of places where you can fight which aren't over the bridges as well, right? So definitely a good map for Protoss, I think. I think the one cool thing about this map is at the natural, there's like a small ledge, and you can drop stuff on it, so it's really good for Terran siege tank play. But we'll see if Nabline opts to go for that.
Yeah, I do like those styles of going for a fast dropship and trying to harass the natural with dropping on that ledge. But sometimes in TVP, it seems like you go for that and the Protoss already has a shuttle and zealots in there and they just shut it down so easily.
Definitely. All strategies have their own risk, right? And Protoss is no stranger to, Terran builds. Oh, these guys are tier 0, obviously, right? So, I mean...
Yeah, they know the races and what they can do, so...
Right, yeah, I'm pretty sure Narsil has that in the back of his mind. Oh, okay, so yeah, going over to the players' builds, okay. Okay, yeah, we can see Nabline, and he got his scout into Narsil's base, actually, so he sees everything. He sees the core spinning, he sees the 2 pylons and everything. And we see really, really standard Protoss build, again, coming out of Narsil, right? Like 15 second pylon, right? And then the Dragoon coming out range immediately. Same thing for Nabline. Super, super, super standard. And yeah, there's not really any need to really even commentate on it because they're basically going the most standard builds you can get, right?
Yeah, and I'm going for that bunker first before command center, which is, I guess, a little more defensive. I'm not sure why he would do that. I think that's more against zealots. I'm not sure what the benefit of that is. And he is going for that vulture first, so maybe that's why he got the bunker so early. But he's really under no pressure right now, so he's going to have time to get his expansion and get a tank out before there's too many goons outside of his front of his base.
Yeah, but your analysis was actually correct. The reason why Nabline went bunker first is basically because he was going vulture. If you go vulture first without tank, you need a bunker up first because the first Dragoon will just get there, right? Before your tank is anywhere near finishing, right? Yeah, and I'd just like to really quickly point out from Narsil, we do have the 21 next again, so super standard. But this time, he's actually playing like even more standard Protoss because last game he got 21 next and threw down 3 gates. This time he's going 1 gate and he's going for his robotics facility right away.
Yeah, we've
And
seen the Blime able to get a vulture into the base of Narsil, and he's able to start shooting down some probes right now. He gets one probe, and he's upgrading mines and getting another vulture. I don't even think he has a tank out right now. And he's just doing some harass with this vulture, killing 2 probes so far, forcing probe pulls, the Dragoons all the way back, trying to take down that vulture. The vulture getting away for the time being, might even get another probe. It only has 5 HP though, a probe could just one-shot it here. Oh, and there's the Dragoon taking out the first vulture. So that was some nice harass by Nablime. He was able to basically get a scout and see nothing too out of the ordinary. That early robotics like you were mentioning, and now the second gateway going down for the Protoss.
That was actually huge. You know, that vulture attack, 3 probes and the denial of mining for so long. You know, that's definitely worth it. And it also kind of screwed up Narsil's play a bit because he's only now attacking the bunker with his first Dragoon. Like, a little bit of mind games going on. See, you can see Narsil actually leaving 2 Dragoons back at his natural because he's afraid that there's like more vultures, right? Like, those 2 Dragoons could have been also pounding on that bunker, but it's really well done by Nablime, like all around. And yeah, see, he sneaks out another vulture now. This vulture does have spider mines, so it just like turns up the lethality of that vulture so much more. And we do see Narsil. I think he's getting his third, so he's going to get a quick third off 2 gates. Not pretty standard. I mean, he definitely can get away with it on map and with the opening he had. Oh, that was a good pick off. You saw those 2 Dragoons pick off that vulture, heading for a third. I'm not sure if Nablime did he see it? Did he see the third with that vulture?
Yeah, I don't think he was close enough to see that third, but he must know this is around the timing when Protoss is taking a third, and by the positioning of those Dragoons, he may be able to assume there's a third. Here we see a shuttle coming out from the Protoss, so I wonder what he's going to has in store for us with this one shuttle. Maybe trying to abuse the high ground himself? I'm not quite sure. Or maybe he's wary of some high ground abuse from Terran.
I think your second analysis was spot on. I think he's afraid that the Terran will have a dropship. Because, you know, there's no way he's going to land his 2 Dragoons on Nablime. It's like natural. The Terran will just siege up, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And that'll be the end of that. So, yeah, definitely. Okay, we see first observer coming across the map. So Narsil will be able to see everything Nablime has. About that vulture not seeing the third though, that could have been huge. I mean, Nablime can deduce correctly that there is a third, but without seeing it, without the third, I mean, the Protoss could be going for Reaver right now, you know, instead of a quick third, you know. So I mean, it does matter actually getting that confirmation.
Definitely, and Nablime taking his third command center, kind of pushing out a little bit on the map. Again, getting some vultures out there, but the Dragoons should be positioned here to be safe against these vultures. There really isn't too many Dragoons out on the map though, and these vultures able to get in here on the third base, start taking out some probes. He's able to take out 3 probes so far. And he does end up losing those vultures, but that's a very good trade actually for Terran, and he's sending out more vultures, looking to do the same thing, I would assume. And this shuttle, again, kind of not doing anything for the Protoss. He's getting speed for his zealots.
Yeah, it looks like the shuttle was just for anti-drop play. You can see he's landed 2 Dragoons on his natural high ground. Really afraid that Nablime is going to drop siege tanks there. But you know what? There is no there's no siege tanks coming. So
yeah, the starport only a third of the way done, and you can see that with his observer. So there's really no need for Dragoons to be up there on that ramp at this time.
Right. Yeah. I think another thing that we're seeing again is look at Narsil's probe count versus Nablime's SCV count. It's like the repeat of the first game. You know, he's chronically low on workers. I mean, I guess we can kind of forgive it like a little bit this time because you know he did take some damage from the vultures, right? But you know, I mean, I really feel like you really need more workers, right? Especially to combat the Terran, and you can see it really shows in the supplies again. Terran is up on supply against Protoss, and whenever Terran is up on supply against Protoss, Terran is ahead, basically, right?
Here we see that shuttle coming in with some zealots, trying to do a shuttle bomb, and it looks like the Protoss is maybe trying to bust this third base. Does take out 1 tank, but now the rest of the zealots are cleaned up. and he's gonna have to back off. So that shuttle proving some usefulness there, but ultimately he gets fended off by Nablime, and Nablime's able to take this third base. And as you were saying, this worker count is gonna start to make a huge difference the longer this game goes on.
It's already has made a difference. The Blime is up on supply, like 20 supply up. I mean, usually what we see at this time is like the supplies are reversed, right? Protoss is up by like 20 or something, right? And turns down by 10 or 20.
Yeah, and this third base is a little too exposed here. There's not enough Protoss units to defend, and again, a big group of Vultures getting in the probe pull is happening now, but he might just lose all these probes here. There's really no units back, and yeah, it looks like he's losing all his probes to some Vultures.
Yeah, that's gotta hurt for Protoss. I mean, for any race, when you see Vultures running in, even turn versus turn, like sniping your workers, it's never a good feeling. So, yeah, then the Blime in a commanding position now, right? I mean, he's basically on even basis with the Protoss. Protoss still does not have any kind of higher tech like Arbiter or carrier on the way. Looks like he's trying to make something happen actually in the Blime's third right now, but
Yeah,
I
this does
feel
not
like
look good. There's a bunch of turrets. He does get one Zealot onto the tank, so he takes out one tank, but now his Dragoons are just kind of isolated, trying to get on top of those tanks. Take out one, two tanks, but he's losing his entire army for those tanks, so I'm not sure if this was worth it for the Protoss.
yeah, I mean I like the idea because Narsil he took all that damage, right, and he knows he's gotta make something happen, right? He's got to do maybe like deny the Terran third, but solidly shut down by Nablime. So I really feel like, and yeah, you can see Nablime being so annoying with these Vultures,
Yeah.
running into the third again, sniping even more probes. But he's gonna take out the cannon first, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Narsil just not having enough units back here to defend and to try to pressure this top base. Again, going in for an attack into Nablime's third. Again, kind of going to get shut down here. He gets on top of these tanks. He's taking out all the tanks.
Yeah, he does. He does actually clean up that the garrison defending the third, but he's got no more units to, to back it up with. So basically, Nablime has again defended his third, and at this stage, Nablime can afford to lose these units, right? He can afford these these army losses because his economy allows him to. But I really feel like Narsil can't.
Yeah,
I mean,
Nablime is mining more from his third base than Narsil is right now, and that's definitely to his benefit that he's able to defend it. He really has a small surface area to defend as well, as long as there is no recalls into his main or anything like that. Because he just has to defend this one bridge and then this kind of small choke area. Meanwhile, Narsil has to defend his third base somehow, which is so exposed to Vulture run-bys as we've seen. And it looks like Nablime's going in for another run-by with his Vultures. Maybe to that third base, maybe to try to deny fourth base from going down. And Nablime's even taking his own fourth base at this mineral only. So this is going to really spread out Nablime's defenses if he has to defend this base.
yeah, I kind of feel like it would be better if he took the 12 o'clock mineral only. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Then there's
I agree.
only small. Yeah, definitely vulnerable to some kind of Protoss counterattack. But at this point, I mean, I don't think it even really matters. He could take any base basically. He's 139 to 93 supply. Again, Narsil has a Stargate up, but he's got no Arbiter Tribunal on the way. And we see another attack on the third, but uh, I, I just can't see anything happening. Yeah, and
And Narsil
Narsil
leaves.
just leaves. Yeah, no GG, just leaves. Yeah, he knows it's over.
Yeah, so there goes.
Yeah, the Blime's Vulture is really doing work. I mean, I totally agree with you. I mean, that first Vulture getting 3 probes and forcing, ton of like lost mining time, that was already huge. Not to mention the run bys. Yeah, yeah, right. Royal, you want to host the second one? Okay. I just wanted to say, the blind wasn't even supposed to play this week. He stood in for Loop because Loop couldn't make it. So yeah, he just played that game today.
Well, congrats to him for taking that game, and that's
Yeah,
great for Operation Indecision as well.
that was a convincing 2-0 too. It was a really nice play by the blind.
Definitely. So let's get into our second series here. It looks like we're having two Ash teammates face off as Art of Turtle plays Jedi 1.
All right, so we have Ash Art of Turtle for Team Operation Indecision, and Ash Jedi 1 will be playing for Team Socialized Healthcare. So we do have a Protoss versus Zerg this time on match point. Top right being the Zerg, and bottom left being the Protoss. So for Protoss versus Zerg, RoyalBlue, well, what do you think? This map, strategies, thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not sure what this map favors more. I think from what I've seen of Art of Turtle, he likes to play a more defensive Zerg play. So we'll see if he goes into that, if this map will favor that. There is like kind of no other main to take as Zerg. So there's not a lot of bases.
Yeah, well, you're saying like he likes to play defensive. His name is Art of Turtle after all, right?
Exactly, yes.
Okay, so we do see actually, was it okay? It was an overpool coming down from Turtle, and what will it be for Ash Jedi? Well, I mean Ash Jedi, he's gonna see the overpool, so I think he can actually get away with just Forge and then expansion, right? Because he knows it's not gonna be something like a quick Zergling run by or something like that, right? And of course, in this matchup, getting a probe scout in early for Protoss is huge, right? It really affects whether you basically can go like Forge Nexus first, Forge Cannon, and then Nexus, or sometimes even Nexus before Forge, right? It all depends on seeing the Zerg's spawning pool timing. Oh, and we see. Okay, this is so annoying, but this is so good for Protoss. when you drop a pylon or in the natural the Zerg, so when the Zerg tries to expand, they can't. It delays their economy so much. So it looks like Turtle. He's probably gonna take his third mineral only, right? And you see Jedi 1 saving his minerals by canceling the pylon.
Yeah, Jedi 1's still not able to take his own expansion, but he does see our Art of Turtle taking that third mineral only. And now he's going to be able to place his own Nexus at his natural.
Right.
Art of Turtle only building 2 Lings so far.
Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised that Jedi 1 he went like Forge and then Cannon and then Nexus. I mean, he had the probe in there, and like you can also see what's coming out of the eggs and everything, right? So I definitely feel like he definitely could have taken the Nexus and then done a Cannon, right? Just to get a little bit more of a early economic edge. Yeah, and you can see he's really afraid of some kind of Zergling run by. So he's already pulled like probes, sealed the entrance, but
yeah,
I feel like he doesn't really have to. It's just hurting his economy.
yeah, he has a probe in the Zerg base.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's no Zergling speed, right? Like you would know Zergling speed would be done by now, right? If like Turtle was gonna maybe do some kind of like run by, right? Because he sees the Zergling chasing his probe, so a little bit of a more defensive play from Jedi 1, but it's not game ending or anything, right? So not a big deal. It's a little bit of a lost mineral optimization. That's all. Oh, one thing I really like about Jedi 1 is, his probe is still alive. So basically, he sees the lair timing. He sees like the drone count, and he can see what's coming out of the eggs as well, right? And crucially, if he does go back down to the natural eventually with his probe, he can see if the Zerg like has tapped the second gas, right, or the speed of the Zerg tapping a second gas. I mean, all these are great tells to show you what the Zerg is thinking of doing, right?
Yeah, Zerg's popping out 4 more Zerglings, and he is getting that Zergling speed, which is a little over halfway done. So he may be able to take out that probe soon enough. But for now, it's definitely being annoying and doing a great job scouting. As the Spire goes down from the Zerg, the probe will be able to see it. And the Protoss, meanwhile, is going to get his own Stargate as he's finished his Cybernetics core. So both these players kind of teching up.
Right. Nothing too out of the ordinary right now, right? Yeah, that probe's still alive. Okay, well the probe's probably finally gonna go down, but I mean this probe is worth its weight in gold. It's seen everything. It's scouted basically forever, right? Well, I guess Turtle could have probably like proxied like a Hydra Den or something as third or something, but that didn't happen. So Jedi 1 basically getting a full scout off on this on what Turtle's doing. Yeah, first Corsair coming out. This Corsair is going to be essential for scouting as well. Okay, we do see
Ash Jedi
fourth
1
hatchery.
pushing out with around 3 Zealots, but there should be enough Zerglings out there to stop it. And yeah, Artist Turtle going up to 5 hatcheries, getting that Spire.
Fifth hatchery coming down. I mean, obviously I'm not a Zerg player, and I'm the my Zerg is the weakest. But I kind of feel like if you're going up to 5 factories like this, I mean, sorry, factories, I'm the five hatcheries like this. My bad, sorry. I feel like you really need like a Hydralist Den, right? Because you don't need this many hatcheries if you're just gonna do some kind of like Hydralist. I mean, Mutalist play, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, yeah, okay, his Hydralist Den just coming down right now, yeah, in his natural, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I don't think we're really gonna see any kind of like a Mutalist. I think the Spire was just to get Scourge.
Yeah.
So yeah, they denied the Corsair. And the Corsair already has 1 Overlord kill. Probably gonna get another Overlord kill, yeah. And every Overlord kill you get is so good. So annoying. He supply blocked Art Turtle, right? So
yeah, here's some Scourge coming out to really fend off that first Corsair. But Art Turtle losing 2 Overlords kind of does hurt at this time in the game. We see Jedi 1 going for that Zealot leg speed, getting some more gateways. So he may try to do a timing attack when this +1 finishes. A couple drones coming in here for Arda Turtle. They're just going to get destroyed by a cannon though.
a little bit of a misrally. And yeah. I think Jedi 1 is in a great position right now, keeping both his Corsairs alive. Basically, for the three Scourge, I think got picked off or something like that. So yeah, good on Jedi.
Yeah, we see +1 finishing now for Jedi, and he does have a good amount of Zealots. It looks like 9 Zealots. So we'll see if he decides to do a timing push with them while they do have that upgrade advantage over the Zerg. And it looks like he's moving out now. There's just some Zerglings out there which are on, looks like hold command and are gonna get kind of shredded.
Another drone. He's gotta keep his eye on his drones.
But he's got some Hydras popping out now. Is it gonna be enough though? This is a lot of Zealots coming out. He has no Sunkens.
Right, I definitely think Turtle should drop at least 1 Sunken in his third. I do think Turtle he will be able to hold this for sure with the Zerglings coming back in Hydralist, but not having that 1 Sunken at the third, like until he's basically making calling right now, might cost him. And yeah, you see Zealots streaming and picking off those Hydralists.
Yeah, losing a lot of Hydralists initially now, and actually losing all those Zerglings too now pretty easily. So he's kind of getting forced back. The Sunken does finally finish though. So it looks like the Protoss is going to have to move on. He goes to the natural now where there is a Sunken as well. But he might just get right on top of the Sunken. There's still a lot of Zealots alive. some Hydralisk coming up to clear it up, and nice
Oh, that was
drone
a
blocking.
great drone. Yeah, great drone. Like wasn't really drone drill, but it was like drone body block, right? Allowing the turtle to clean up that zealot force. So actually, that went pretty good actually for turtle, I think. So basically, he didn't lose any drones at all. He just basically traded army for that, and his economy was untouched. So kudos to turtle for that.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's a
and we
beefy
see,
coming out.
yeah,
But the
he almost
Overlord
lost the
does
Corsair.
see it. Yeah, the Corsair are able to avoid those scourges and get back to the safety of the cannons.
So yeah, I do think that turtle is actually in a slightly better position as of now. I think five hatchery Zerg, pumping out Hydralisk. It's pretty scary, It's pretty hard to deal with. And Jedi turtle, Jedi one, he did throw away all those zealots, right? So, but I mean, again, it's definitely not over by any stretch. I mean, Jedi one does have his high Templars up, and I'm pretty sure he already has Storm Research. So basically, any kind of Hydra bust that turtle might be thinking of doing, he's rallying his Hydras here. I don't think he's going to be able to do anything. It's going to get shut down pretty hard by these storms.
Yeah, and I think as we saw in the last match on that point, there's kind of a lot of chokes on this map. So Storm is going to be very effective, and Hydra is not as effective. I don't think you're going to see as many big surrounds as you normally do.
Yeah, right. I think one good thing Zerg can do in this map though is maybe do a Hydralisk drop or something into the Protoss main, right? Pretty open, right? And or like a Crackling drop or something later on in the game.
Yeah, we see Lurker aspect being researched by the Zerg, so he might try to get into Lurkers later on in this game as well.
Yeah, I think he's probably thinking of trying to set up a contain, right, in front of Jedi 1. That's why he's getting the Lurker aspect. And I do see a lot of Zergs do that, but yeah, well, I mean, Lurker aspect is done, so let's see if he does morph some Lurkers. Hydralisk. Okay, he's morphing too, outside the natural. Yeah, actually, yeah, and you know what? Forget what I said. It does not look like Turtle's, trying to get any kind of contain or anything. Most of his forces are still back at home. And he morphed his first 2 Lurkers at home too, so...
Yeah, it's just keeping a small group out to kind of keep tabs on the Protoss and see when he's moving out. Protoss is powering up on 8 gateways right now, it looks like, so that's a lot of production for the Protoss on 2 bases. So he is going to have a nice strong timing when he does choose to move out. It looks like he's moving out right now. The Zerg is going to have to pull back immediately.
Yeah, and the Zerg actually getting a good scout off with his Scourge. Like he ran his Scourge in, so he sees all the gates. He knows the gate numbers and all the tech that Protoss has. And yeah, okay, so we do see Jedi 1 breaking out of the fake contain, and it looks like he's gearing up to grab his own 3rd. Oh, like Turtle, yeah, you gotta save your Hydralisk. I'm not watching his Hydralisk a little bit, that small group, so losing a ton of Hydralisk. Looks like Jedi 1 is now starting to push the issue. His army is moving out to the middle of the map.
Yeah, only a few Lurkers out so far. He's morphing one more on that high ground area. But it looks like the Protoss is just going to push right away. And there's, it would be nice for Turtle if he had more Lurkers on this high ground. Right now, it doesn't look like he has enough Hydralisk to really hold this position from this.
Right, and with only 1 Lurker. Yeah, the Lurker goes on immediately.
It looks like he gets right on top of this Zerg, but he may have just lost too much damage to the Zealots.
Yeah, I think that snipe on the Observer also costed him. Like, he lost a ton of Hydralisk moving forward, trying to snipe that Observer. And, I mean, there was only 1 Lurker that got taken out immediately, so, I mean, the Storm actually kills his own Observer.
Yeah, so 2 more Lurkers coming in. They're going to have to burrow here in separate spots to not get stormed on. Yeah, it looks like they get stormed and both die. So now there's kind of nothing here for the Zerg to defend with. Another storm goes down on the drone line, and he's losing a lot of drones here at this 3rd mineral only.
Right, and actually the Zerglings weren't even like the Zerglings were. I think they were rallied in the wrong position. You see, they're not even attacking; they're just running past the Protoss force.
Yeah, some Hydras coming in from the 4th base to try to surround this Protoss attack, but there's a lot of Dragoons and the Zerglings. I think Zerg's eventually going to clean this up, but it's just kind of piecemeal units coming in from Zerg and more reinforcements coming in from Protoss, and he's just holding this high ground outside of the mineral-only base.
Yeah, this high ground advantage, so good, and yeah, it looks like he is pressing the issue. I don't know if Turtle can hold this. I do think he was in a good position before, economically, but this one giant attack, threatening just to overrun the Zerg right here and now.
Yeah, he hit at a great timing when there really wasn't too many lurkers out on the map, so he was able to just take out the few that were morphed already and just move right in on top of these units. And he's taking advantage of some missed rallies here by Ardo Turtle. And it looks like he's going to be able to take this game.
Yeah, there were actually quite a lot of missed rallies. I don't know if you're watching the attack in the 3rd. Like all these Zerg, like right here, like this isn't the first time. Like there were multiple times, like streams of Zerglings just ran past the Protoss army. I think if they were all attacking, he probably would have been able to clean it up, because all the Dragons would have been dead and everything. So that was a good game. So first game going to our team Socialized Healthcare. All right, so we have Arda Turtle spawning in the top right as our Zerg Claire playing for Team Operation Indecision, Ash Jedi 1. Bottom right spawn, our yellow Protoss player playing for Team Socialized Healthcare. Yep, and this will be the second match between them. Again, both players tier 0, very, very good players. I think Arda Turtle is one of our assistant coaches for Zerg, so yeah, definitely a great Zerg player. So Tau Cross, Protoss versus Zerg, your thoughts?
Yeah, so this is a little different from match point. Again, there is more wide open space, like we were saying, and the mains are more exposed to drops too. So we could see some drop play from the Zerg. It's going to be interesting to see if he decides to take his near third or if he decides to expand to another natural and main, because that's going to be open on this map where it wasn't available on match point.
Yeah, no, I mean, I totally agree. I totally agree. I really do think that this map is favors Zerg a lot more than Protoss. But as I say again, I'm not a Zerg player, so I don't know. It's just my gut feeling. I'm looking at the map.
Yeah,
Okay,
there's
yes, we
definitely
do
a
have.
lot of
Go.
paths for counterattacks, I would say. That would benefit the Zerg.
Right. Yeah. I believe you were talking about the 3rd, right, being so open as well, right? I mean, just asking for crackling attacks on it. Okay, and look, we see this probe, and it does block the path to the natural.
Oh, that's so annoying. So this probe getting the first scout and making the most annoying play ever. He's gonna cancel the pilot. Is he gonna build a new one? No.
He's probably gonna deny the natural though. Oh, and he does.
So these two drones kind of worthless right now, not getting anything done that they want to.
Right. Jedi 1, yeah. Okay, he sees the eggs. Oh, is he gonna watch what pops out? Well, I think he knows. He thinks he knows it's already Zerglings. I mean, he's already got a cannon coming up back home. So he'll be able to ward off these Zerglings, I'm pretty sure. Is he gonna... Oh, okay.
Wow.
That drone. That drone, like, brought it back for the Zerg. At least he got rid of that super annoying probe.
Yeah, now we have 6 Lings out on the map, running towards the Protoss base. The cannon does just morph in time, but I believe 6 Lings can take out a cannon, so if he just goes for it, he might be able to take it out. We'll see what the Zerg does. Usually they just lose one Ling and back off, but we'll see what he does here.
Yeah,
There, he loses the 1 Ling.
Oh,
blocked
beautiful!
by the probe.
Did you... Beautiful, yeah, like a probe body block, you know, preventing the Zerglings from just running past the cannon or getting surrounded on the cannon. So, you know, Jedi 1 playing this perfectly. You know, like super, delaying the natural, delaying even the third, because he put that pylon down at that natural so early, right? And denying the Ling counterplay perfectly.
Yeah, now he's getting another probe in to scout what the Zerg is doing.
Will he though? Will he though?
Oh, he's got a drone in there even blocking.
Yeah, I mean, that's good on Turtle. Right, yeah, he's gonna see the third at least. Yeah, but that was really good on Turtle, preventing Jedi 1 from coming back into his base, right? Seeing what's up. So I do see nine drones. Yep, go ahead.
Now he gets in.
Oh, okay. That was super good. Jedi 1 gets in. He's gonna see the Hydralisk then, and yeah, I was just about to say we do see 9 drones mining at the main, and yeah, he's main earning some drones down at the 2's natural. So I think this might be like a 9-7, like, what was it, like 9743 or something like that? What was that build that Zero did? You know?
Yeah, 973. I think that was those 7 numbers, right?
Yeah, 973. It used to be like 9734, but I think like the 4 has dropped out of favor, so now it's like attack done off 3 bases. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it is, because you can see Turtle. He's going for Hydralisk speed, right, and everything. But the thing is this though, Jedi 1 saw it. You know.
Yeah.
He saw everything, so he's gonna throw down a ton of cannons now. In response to this, like he knows what's coming, right? He saw the Hydralisk, then, you know, he saw no layer morphing, right? For, you know, when it basically it should have already been morphing, right? So I can't help but feel that you know, Jedi 1's gonna be ready for this. You know, check 9. Yeah, it is the 9-7. It is the 9-7-4. Okay, and we see a 2 Zealot counterattack at the third, forcing away the mining drones there. So that's pretty good for Jedi 1. And only 2 Zerglings here to defend. Okay, more Zerglings coming out from the main, but yeah, he's gotta rally some more forces.
This is an interesting reaction to this build, is to actually send out your first 2 Zealots and try to get some damage done early. I would assume if you're getting like Hydra push, you want to hold on to your units, but there he trades his first 2 Zealots. I think he got 1 drone, maybe a couple Lings, and he denied some mining time, but I'm not sure if that was worth it to send out your first 2 Zealots. Here he's building more cannons back in his base and getting a robotics facility. Yeah, like you said, he's got plenty of time to really cannon up now. I wonder if he's going for a Reaver from that robotics facility.
Yeah, it's gotta be a Reaver, and yeah, if he does get like a Reaver out, like this 9-7-4 is basically shut down. Yeah, and also I do agree with what you were saying earlier about sending the 2 Zealots out. I think the main thing he was thinking of doing was maybe trying to get some economic damage, because this 9-7-4, every drone that you lose from it, it does count, right? Because you're basically with all your eggs, you're not making drones after you get the 9-7-4, right? You're just making army continuously to try to get that huge Hydralisk force for that big bust. Yeah, and now we do see the Hydralisk pounding away at the gateway.
Again, denying mining here at this third base, and of course they're taking out the Overlord, so this is where it gets really annoying as Zerg, when you're losing all your Overlords to this Corsair counterattack, and you're also trying to bust down the front of the Protoss, because that really slows down your Hydralisk production. But he does take out that gateway like you were saying, so now the Pro's being forced to pull to avoid these Hydras just getting right on top of the cannons.
Yeah, Well, interestingly enough, he does have the Protoss robotics facility, so a Reaver is on the way, and I mean, I I think those counterattacks that Jedi One did, they were worth it at the end because okay, you can see drones being remade at the third, but a little bit of misrally again, right? It has slowed down, Art of Turtles economy, and yeah, he gets another Overlord. I mean, all of these Overlord kills and such. I mean, they all cost minerals. I mean, they all cost money, right? And you can see all that extra money could have been Hydralisk, right?
Yeah, and he never even got attack off with this Hydralisk. Now there's so many cannons and there's a Reaver. He's forced now to try to macro up again. And yeah, he went for this very aggressive build and he never even got to make an attack because of the counterattacks by Ash Jedi 1. So he was forced to pull his whole army back to his main. And now he's kind of has to drone up and he's, I think, behind, even though he did force out so many cannons.
Yeah. Okay. Wow, that was a huge scare up hit. Okay. Yeah. Well, 100%, Royal Blue. Jedi One again. I think he played this perfectly. He shut down this 974 with effective counterplay with his Corsair and Zealot run-bys, right, and harass. And yeah, I mean everything you're saying is basically happening right now. Yeah. So Turtle basically trying to macro out of this. Basically, he's made a couple round of drones. He's making another drone round. Grabbing his fourth, getting his Spire. Trying to get his tech up. Meanwhile, Jedi One, what's he going? I think he's probably just gonna throw down some gates and go for maybe a timing attack. He is gonna do some kind of Reaver harass though. I can see he's getting his shuttle. He has 2 Reavers, right? Does he have Reaver speed? Click. Yeah, he's upgrading the shuttle, not Reaver speed. Sorry, it's getting later. Shuttle speed. Sorry, yeah. So he is planning that. So
I
yeah,
didn't even catch that. Yeah, Reaver speed, that would be broken.
that would be so good for Protoss. Yeah. It's almost 1 here, so apologies, folks. Yeah, it's getting a little tired. Messing up my casting a bit. Yeah, and okay, yeah, as we do see, gates are coming down now in mass. Observatory coming down, spot for any kind of lurker container, anything like that. And first shuttle is out, and speed is almost done. So I guess we can see what Jedi One can get done with his Reavers.
Yeah, there is the Spire finishing up for the Zerg player Art of Turtle, so if he does get some Scourge out here, maybe luckily picks off that first shuttle. That could be a way for him to kind of fend off this early aggression. We do see Scourge heading over to this third base. He's got a 4 Scourge over there, so the shuttle is heading right towards them. Oh, it might just dive right away here. Let's see. Oh, and he just misses.
What the
Oh,
okay,
man.
Yeah,
That's
wow.
unfortunate for the Zerg player. He was totally ready for this. And now with the shuttle speed, he's able to get away. But during this time, Zerg has droned up pretty hard. He's taken a 4th base. So if he can just hold off this aggression from the Protoss, I think he's kind of getting back into it.
Yeah, if obviously, if you sit back and wait too long, right? The Zerg can definitely get back in this game. I definitely do feel Jedi One is, still quite far ahead, obviously, right? From countering Turtle's original plan. So, and it looks like Jedi One may be thinking of moving out. He's got 3 Reavers now, so escorted by Dragoon. So this force is something to be reckoned with. And what does Turtle have in response to this? He doesn't have that much army though. Like taking a look, he's only got a tiny group of Hydralisk and Zerglings. So this could be dicey. He is making more army right now, but I don't know if he can fend this off, especially with 4 gates coming down for Jedi back at his base. Yeah, and that first small group of Hydralisk and Zerglings just massacred. They were trying to dive on that 1 Reaver, you see, right? But completely shut down.
Yeah, and Zerg may have just droned up a little too hard here. He has like no units out. This is an interesting push coming out with these Reavers not in a shuttle. The Zerg army kind of coming in here one group at a time and just getting picked apart. Some nice scarbs going down.
Yeah, I just don't know what Turtle can do. You know, he just doesn't have enough. I feel. Yeah, it just like
These Reavers are
this.
so slow, but this push is kind of unstoppable.
Yeah, they're so slow yet so strong. Yeah,
There's
just
a bunch of
imagine.
Hydras. They could engage this Dragoons favorably if they were isolated, but it looks like Jedi 1 just taking his time, slowly pushing in.
Right, Turtle has got to get the perfect surround on this army if he's gonna survive. Okay, it looks like, yeah, we do see the huge
Turtle's going
attack
for
from
it.
Turtle. Oh, it looks like, yeah, the Reavers in combination with the Protoss force is just too much. I mean, he gets one Reaver, but the Zerg force is just picked apart, you know, by the Protoss army. And one thing I would also like to note is that, you know, Protoss does have +1/+1 attack and armor, and the Zerg has no upgrades. Oh, and his Carapace and the Evolution Chamber getting picked off just before it finished too. So Protoss army looking invincible, you know, in this fight.
Yeah, definitely. And the Protoss able to take out that third base, and now he's kind of even pushing into the natural.
Yeah, using that SimCity against him and getting huge shots off with that Reaver, right?
Yeah. I think that's the last Reaver that finally goes down, but there's just not a lot of Zerg forces left to contend with all these Dragoons, which are just able to kind of sit in the back and just deal so much damage.
Right. Yeah. I think we're about to see the end. A wave of like Protoss reinforcements come in, and yeah, a good game out of Turtle.
Yeah, so that's the end of game 2, and Ash Jedi 1 able to take the series 2-0 over Art of Turtle.
Yeah, those were both pretty good games. I think Jedi won that last game though. He played it perfectly. You know, he scouted everything. You know, he responded perfectly. You know, and he pushed out just before the Zerg could really feel the effect of that drone up. You know what I mean? Behind his 973s or whatever. Yeah, so yeah, definitely, definitely. Right. Yeah. Thanks for watching. That's all the tier tier 0 games we have. And there's only 2 players per tier 0, I think, per team. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Yeah. No, anytime. Thank you for hosting, RoyalBlue. See you all next time.